What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I'm gonna be showing y'all how to create a very overpowered point guard build today. Now, I'm gonna be calling it the 3-way sharpshooting slasher, and this build is actually going to come out to an inside out shot creator, and I'm going to go about the build name explaining as we go about the breakdown of this video. But look, with this build, we're going to be able to get sharpshooting, playmaking, slashing, and lockdown takeover, and this is one of the only builds that's going to be able to get off rip 94 to 100 badges. Now, with this build, we're also going to be able to get elite contact dunks, pro dribble moves, but that is really just the start. So when it comes down to our stats and attributes, the ones that we're going to be able to get a 100 plus for is going to be our driving layup, our dunk, 3-point shot, ball handle, speed with ball, perimeter defense, as well as our steal. Now, this build is going to remind me of MVP Russell Westbrook from the OKC Thunder. We're going to be able to shoot from deep with that 3-point, finish on the inside with the contact dunks, and also be able to break ankles and play some elite defense. So before we get any further into this video, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to hit y'all back with a response. So let's go ahead and get started with the creation of this build. We're going to make it out of the point guard position. Now, when it comes down to the body settings, we're going to go with a completely non-meta build today. Now, this is going to be for those skillful players and anybody who really wants to be a true point guard. Let's go with the height of 6'2". Now, when it comes down to our weight, I'm going to go with 205, and then for the wingspan, I'm going to go with 6'10 with the body shape of Burley. Now, this is going to be all set to go when it comes down to the breakdown of the body settings. From here, let's get into the breakdown of our physicals. Now, when it comes down to the speed, I'm going to go ahead and put this up to a 79. Now, when it comes down to the acceleration, go ahead and put this to an 86. And then as for our strength, I'm going to go with the 74. Now, for the vertical, I like this at an 82 to get elite contact dunks. And then as for the stamina, I'm going to go with an 85. And with the +4 from our gym rat badge or Gatorade facility workouts, we're going to be able to get a +4. So our speed is going to go up to the 80s. Acceleration will be in the 90s. High 70s for the strength. Mid to high 80s when it comes down to the vertical. And then also, we're going to be able to get an 89 stamina, which I think makes a huge difference on this build. Now for the defensive end, I'm going to go ahead and put my defensive rebound up to a 75. Now, when it comes down to the block, go with the 60 for batch purposes. And then when it comes down to the steal, I'm going to go with the 79. Now, for the perimeter defense, I'm going to go ahead and put this to an 86. And right there, once you go ahead and move on to the interior, go with the 60, and we get a total of 22 defensive badges. Now, look, we get box out beast, also a rebound chaser, chase down artist, and then a good amount of badges out of tier 2. And then for tier 3, I like glove with interceptor and also clamps. Now, this is going to set us up when it comes down to the defensive end. Pretty much going to be able to guard a little bit of everything, even on the inside. Now, with the playmaking, I'm going to go with an 88 when it comes down to my speed with ball. Same thing when it comes down to our ball handle. And then when it comes down to the pass accuracy, I'm going to go with the 75. And right there, we get 23 badges. Now, for my personal preference, I like ankle breaker, also vice grip, but we get quick first step on Hall of Fame, hyperdrive and unpluckable with killer combos, and also handles for days with clamp breaker on gold. Now, so far to get into the breakdown of the offensive end, I think we have a good solid advantage on this build. Now, with the shooting, I'm going to go with the free throw all the way up to a 68, and then when it comes down to the 3-point, put this all the way up to an 88. And then finally, to wrap it up when it comes down to the mid-range, go with the 75, and right there we get a total of 22 badges. Now look, we get Volume Shooter, MIDI Magician, Green Machine and Space Creator with Amped, all of the main shooting badges. But then for tier 3, I like Agent 3 with Limitless Range on Silver. Now the takeovers are going to play a huge factor with this build, especially when it comes down to adding boost. So for the finishing, I'm going to go ahead and put my driving dunk all the way up to a 93. This right here is going to give us a good amount of badges. Go with an 87 when it comes down to our driving layup. And then right there, we're going to throw the rest into our close shot. And we get a total of 23 finishing badges. Now with the 4 extra badges from my career, and then each additional badge point unlocked from each season, we have the potential to reach a total of 99 badges right now. Once Season 6 comes out, we're going to be able to get this build to 100. And as you can see, like I said, we get the contact dunks. We're going to be able to shoot from the outside, get some of the best dribble packages with some elite defense and nice physicals. So look, we get a +5 from buying our own boost, another +4 from running with a teammate that has on Hall of Fame floor general, plus the additional 10 from our 2 separate takeovers. And the better we play, our stats are also gradually going to raise. Just something to take into consideration with this build. So as you can see, we get the slashing, the sharpshooting, playmaking, and lockdown takeover. So the first one that I'm going to pick is going to be the finishing moves. The second one, limitless range, or you can go ahead and pick extreme clamps. Now for my best interest to get the most out of the defensive end, I would go with extreme clamps, the second one or the first one. It really comes down to how you want to go about this. But I think limitless range is going to be essential. Now whether or not you want to run the lockdown takeover, that's completely up to you. From here, let's get into the breakdown and find out what this build name comes out to be. And if you followed every single step, we should be getting these 3 comparisons. And as y'all can see, together, we have created none other than the 3-way sharpshooting slasher, also known as the inside out shot creator. Now let me know in the comments, what do y'all think about this build? Did you make it exactly how I brought it to y'all? Or did you go about it based off your own version? Now look, I just want to say thank you to those of y'all who have shown the support. And however you did decide to go about the takeovers, make sure you add in your boost so that way you're able to see the true and full potential of this build. Now I think the build only gets better as we get into the breakdown of the badges. So when it comes down to the finishing, remember all of these are based off of my own playstyle. So I'm going to go with Pro Touch. And then when it comes down to tier 2 also, I like Fearless Finisher. Now moving on to tier 1, you can pretty much pick any badges based off of your own liking. Now I'm going to core Posterizer on gold. That still gives us a good amount of badges left over. We have 12. And then you can also go ahead and throw in an extra bronze badge out of this area. Or if you throw extra badges towards it, we're going to be able to get 3 tier 3 badges. So for now, I'm going to go with Slithery on bronze. Now when it comes down to the shooting, I'm going to go with Amped on gold, Space Creator, and Green Machine on the highest tiers. Now normally I would go with the Volume Shooter, but today I'm going to go with Limitless Range as the core badge, and then also throw on Agent 3. Now I do like MIDI Magician, also Volume Shooter like I said, but I think these are going to be the most important badges to run with. Now here's going to be a few different jump shots that we can pick and recreate from, just to give y'all an idea of what this build is going to be able to do. But as far as when it comes down to the playmaking, I really like Quick First Step on Hall of Fame, also Hyperdrive, and then for tier 1, Ankle Breaker is definitely one of my favorite badges this year. But I'm going to move on to tier 3, go with Core Handles for days, and then you can also switch it up with Killer Combos. Now just make sure you're running one of these 2 badges at all times, and then with the remaining 6, I'm going to go ahead and put on Gold Unpluckable with Bronze Vice Grip. Now if you wanted to, you can go ahead and definitely put on Ankle Breaker. That's just my own playstyle and preference. Now moving on to the defensive end, I really like Workhorse on Hall of Fame. I think it makes a huge difference. Now for tier 1, I'm going to go with Rebound Chaser, Chase Down Artist, and also Box Out Beast. Now from here, I'm going to go ahead and put on Core Challenger. And we have a good amount of badges remaining to throw on Glove and then also Clamps. Now this is what the build is going to be looking like. Like I said earlier, let me know what y'all thought about this archetype down below. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to hit y'all back with a response. And with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.